Hello Sky Gems families and all the Labradoodle lovers who are watching this video today. We have 2-week-old Australian Labradoodle puppies, and in today's video we are going to discover, do any of these puppies have their eyes open? Because normally right around now is when the puppies start to be able to see. We're going to talk a little bit about what they can see. We're going to talk about what's been happening with the puppies in the past week. We're going to give you a little bit of an update on Kinsei. And then we're going to talk just a small bit about early neurological stimulation and choosing a name for your puppy. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles. And these little puppies from our Sky Gems litter, holy mackerel, look at how big they are. They are growing by leaps and bounds. We even have 2 of these who are over 1 kilogram at 2 weeks old. So they are just doing so nicely. You can see how their coats are all gleaming, which is a great sign of good health. And just look at how they attack Mama Kinsei's milk bar. I am glad that I am not Kinsei sometimes, because that's a lot of kids to have in there with that much enthusiasm. And now Kinsei's doing really well. You can see she's very good at adapting to allow as many puppies as possible to nurse at one time. She would normally be a little bit more spread out and a bit more tilted, but because I'm in here, I'm taking up some of her space that she would normally use for that. So Kinsei is just a fun puppy. She is, well, she's not a puppy, but a great fun mom. She loves to be in the center of everything. I don't think I've ever known a dog who has quite so much FOMO as Kinsei. She's always curious about what's going on, and she just wants to be in the heart of the home. So we've made a few adaptations for her. The first thing Kinsei started doing was pushing this wall out here. So she could push the wall out far enough that she could then get out of her room. Then she'd be right in the front where we have the glass doors. And then that was making her upset. She could see other dogs, and because we're doing renovations in our house, she could see the workers coming in and out, and that was getting her agitated and barking her fool head off. So we didn't want her to be upset, because everything Kinsei feels goes through the milk bar to the puppies. And one of the keys to having calm adult puppies is having calm, happy moms. So we had to do a little bit of innovation to prop the wall up a little bit more so that Miss Clever Girl here can't knock it over and get out. So we've also decided to let her have a little bit more freedom. We have let her go in the back of the property, which we normally reserve for moms after their puppies are 5 weeks old. But Kinsei's got lots of energy. She has, like I said, all this FOMO, and she was feeling very much like she was missing out. And so that meant that she was a little bit agitated, and we don't want that again for the puppies. So we decided the ROI was much better by letting her run out the back. So we let her do that when the ground is dry. There is less chance of her picking up coccidia then and transferring it to her puppies. So she just thought that was great. She was bounding around like a deer, having a fabulous time. She was chasing the ball and just really enjoying being able to get out and stretch her legs. Now the only problem is we've opened a Pandora's box, because now she wants to go out there all the time. And we do want to limit that. So she's now a little bit annoyed when she only gets to go out in her regular place rather than out the back where she can really run at full speed. But otherwise she's doing great. Her huge appetite has slowed down a small bit, but she is still eating about 4.5, 5 times what she normally would. And she's really enjoying her chicken necks. And the chicken necks are great because they're a natural way to get multiple micronutrients into her, as well as providing that extra calcium. Because of course we've got a lot of calcium going out the door here with 7 fairly substantially sized puppy mouths going on. Now for the puppies in this past week, mostly what they've done is just grown and they've become more coordinated. They're still pretty much on the eat, sleep, and repeat cycle. Hi, sweetheart. Hello, I love you. And they are also starting to get more strength so that they're able to walk better. And you can see just the way that they're nursing here and how they're negotiating the milk bar, that they do have a better capacity for getting around rather. So we're going to talk a little bit now about early neurological stimulation and what that is. So I'm just going to let Kinsei finish cleaning up there and then we'll get a demo puppy. So early neurological stimulation actually came about as part of a U.S. military operation. The U.S. military was developing dogs to go to Afghanistan, Iraq, and be able to work in really very stressful situations. There would be lots of noise, and there would be things very unexpected happening. Bye, Kinsei. And there would be quite a bit of stress on those dogs. So the premise was to try and think of something that would help dogs be more resistant to stresses, be really healthy, be able to survive in very difficult circumstances. So what was thought was that if you did a little bit of development with a puppy on their neurological system when they were still at this very young age, that would carry over until they were older rather. Now, as time's gone on and there have been follow-up studies, there is actually no concrete proof that this does anything whatsoever. Many people believe that it's in the dog's basic DNA and you're not going to change that. Other people still believe very strongly that early neurological stimulation, ENS, really does help to create a happier, healthier, calmer puppy. So I have no idea, but considering that it doesn't do any harm and the fact that it might possibly do some good, it's something that we have adapted and added into our program. And we've been doing this ever since we started breeding Australian Labradoodles. It's not new, it's something that many people do. And basically what's involved is we start when the puppies are 3 days old. I want to wait until they are fully settled in with mom, they've had all the colostrum they need, they're eating well, and then we start introducing different things. And basically what we're doing is something unexpected for the puppy. Now, first of all, just what I did now is unexpected. In dog world, there is no picking up. Picking up only comes as a result of human involvement. So just picking the puppy up in and of itself is something that's new. Then the other thing that we do is, you see me doing all the time, is we touch noses. Touching noses is how the puppies get to know us. It's not actually part of early neurological stimulation. That's just them getting to know us. I just want to let you know what I'm doing with each puppy. So then something that we would do is this. We would hold the puppy like this for 1, 2, and 3. And you see that this puppy gave a little cry because, of course, it's not normal to be held with your head down below the rest of your body. Then we would also do this for 1, 2, 3. We would also put the puppy on their back for 1, 2, 3. Now this puppy is already showing me that being on their back is a very comfortable position. There's lots of trust already established between the two of us, and there's no fear whatsoever. And that's why I'm not doing it for more than 3 seconds. And then lastly, what we do is we just touch in their feet, in between every toe, and we'll just do 1 foot at a time, unless the puppy's really calm and is okay with it. Like right now, then we'll just move on to the next foot, and then we'll just get all their little footies done at once. Now they can't hear me, so it doesn't matter what tone of voice I'm using, but once their ears open, you'll find that when I'm talking to them and doing the video, I have a little bit of a different cadence to my voice in order to make sure that that is not causing them any discomfort. So that's what early neurological stimulation is. We also take the time to expose them to different smells that they wouldn't normally have in the whelping box. So that could be a coffee bean. Sometimes I have a kelp hand lotion I use. So sometimes all I do is just pass my hand in front of them. We make sure whatever it is completely organic, completely natural, and there's no risk whatsoever. We would never do something like perfume or Febreze or a scented candle, as all of those things are potentially toxic to a dog. So other than that, what we're doing with them every day is sitting with them, we're handling them, and we're just getting them used to understanding that people and their touch are always something good. So when we pick them up, we always are waiting first. We're going like this, and then we're picking them up, because we don't ever want to come along and just pick them up out of the blue. We don't want to startle them. We always want to make sure that we're giving them lots of preparation. And then we do the nose touching, and we do the nose into the neck. That's all so they learn our scent and they remember all the time something good has happened. And then we do a little bit of this. There we go. And you'll see that mostly these puppies are all completely content and trusting at being upside down. There's no stress there. Just a big yawn. And then we just monitor them. We want to make sure that all of our interactions with them are positive. So that's what we've been up to this past week. Now I just want to point out, you'll see there's lots of stuff on my pants here. This is not because the dogs are shedding. This is not dog hair. This is from the carpet. So just wanted to point that out, because sometimes people say, oh, I thought you could put these puppies on black pants and not get any hair. You can't. This is not dog hair. This is carpet hair. Now, what is happening next with these puppies? Well, it's going to be their eyes opening. So why are puppies born with their eyes and ears sealed shut? It's just to protect their nervous system. It's just like when we do things, we don't want to upset them. We want to make sure they're ready for whatever we're doing with them. And that's how nature has made sure that the puppies are ready. They don't open their eyes till they're around 2 weeks old, and they don't open their ears until after their eyes. And sometimes that's really quick, and sometimes it's another week and even 10 days. But if you look here at Burgundy's eyes, we looked at a puppy's ears previously, and we could see how they were sealed shut. And now if you can see into Burgundy's ear here, you can see that the canal is starting to open up ever so slightly. It's not completely closed. So probably he can hear that I'm doing this on his ear, but he can't hear me actually speaking yet. It'll be very soft. It'll just be a little bit of a background noise while that ear opens up, but his are going to open up quite soon. Now, who has opened their eyes? Well, we're going to see that when we go through their weights, but everybody except for 2 have their eyes open, and the first one to open their eyes was Silver Collar. Silver Collar had opened eyes by day 12. So very precocious little puppy there. It's totally normal to have a range. And now, does this mean that Burgundy, or Silver rather, is more advanced than the other puppies? No, not at all. It just means that that nervous system was ready to take the stimulation before the others were. Similarly, just because I believe it's Pink is the smallest puppy in the litter, that doesn't mean that she will be the smallest puppy at maturity, because it might just be that she is going to gain a lot of weight once she's eating on her own. Things change quite a bit when we start feeding them solid food. So just because whoever's biggest now and who's smallest now, it doesn't mean that that's something you can depend on going forward, that will stay the same. Similarly, they're not showing me much in way of their personality yet. There's nothing that we're going to say, oh, this one's outgoing, this one's that. They're too young to show us any of that yet. So what can they see once they open their eyes? Well, not much of anything. It's one big blur. Now, people used to think that dogs couldn't see color. Well, they don't see as many colors as we do. They don't see quite as well as we do. So one of the funny things I always like to comment on is one of the most famous types of balls for dogs are chuckets. And chuckets are traditionally bright orange and with a little bit of a blue stripe. Same color as the Denver Broncos. So when you throw the ball, you can see this bright orange ball on your green grass with no trouble. Well, dogs can't at all. That's why so often people say, what is the matter with Fido? Here's the ball is right in front of them. How can they not see it? Well, it doesn't show up at all. Orange on green to dogs is all the same color. So it's really interesting to just Google and find out what colors do dogs see and learn, well, okay, I'm going to get a ball and I want them to be able to see it. Don't pick orange, pick a different color. The other thing that dogs can do with their eyes is at night they see far better than we do. It doesn't matter if the lights are on or off for them. Their vision stays very much the same. And that's just because their eyes work a little bit differently from ours. So right now what the puppies see is just a big blurry blob. They'll see Kinsei come in and they're going to start associating the smell of Kinsei and the shape of that blurry blob with the milk bar. Same time, they're going to associate me as a slightly bigger blob who smells very different and doesn't provide any food and usually does something with them. That's going to all start going into their mind. So that's a lot of stimuli for a little puppy, and that's why they don't have access to all of that when they're first born, because they're just not ready for that. Now finally, let's talk about choosing a name for your puppy. Everybody on this litter list has received their first educational email and a video. And in that video, we talk quickly about getting your house ready and what you need to decide as a family in terms of rules for your dog. Dog-free zones, dogs on the furniture or not, what areas need to be blocked off, do the kids need to learn how to do something, where is everything going to go, what's high enough to make sure that a puppy can't get into it. And keeping in mind always, cell phones, they are one of the #1 things puppies love to eat. Glasses as well. We tend to put our phone and our glasses down, and we usually put them on a side table or a coffee table. And those will be easy reaches for these puppies once they go home with them. Same with your remote control for the TV. Everything up. So just something to keep in mind when you're going through your house and figuring out how you're going to get all the logistics to work for your puppy. And the other thing in the video we talked about was choosing a name for your puppy. So choosing a name is a really important thing to do. It's just like when we name our children. It's something they're going to have for life. We want the name to be something that we like, and we want it to be something that's going to work well for the puppy. So there's a whole host of very popular names for dogs. Lucy, Gracie, Charlie, Bailey, Finn, any variation of Finn. Those are all extremely popular names. Now there's nothing wrong with choosing that name if that really appeals to you. Where the issue can arise is if you're in a group of dogs and you say, hey Charlie, you're probably going to get 9 or 10 dogs all responding to the name. And because it's not unique for your dog and all these other dogs answer, it's a little bit more difficult and challenging for your dog to understand that is their unique identifier. And we have 3 dogs who live with us all the time: Ripple, Spirit, and Peanut. And they all have 10,000 variations of those names and nicknames. But if I say Peanut, Ripple and Spirit might look to see what I'm talking about, but they know it doesn't relate to them. Whereas Peanut will pick her head right up, give me eye contact and go, yeah, okay, what is it that you want to tell me, Mom? So you want to be sure that your dog is able to understand their unique name. So we have all sorts of names that we name our dogs because we have many breeding dogs. So right in here we have Kinsei and we have Raven. Raven is named Raven because her guardian is Haida, and Raven is the animal for the Haida people. And also Raven's aunt, guardian aunt, had a store named Raven Song. So Raven is black, so perfect name for her. Kinsei is named Kinsei because her dad's name is Golden Delicious Applejack. We wanted a name that related to her mom and to her dad. And her mom is Misha, and Misha has a Japanese name. So her guardians, Kinsei's guardians, have a very close connection to Hawaii. That's where they have gone many times, and I believe they also got married there. So we were trying to combine all of those things together, and my guardians were fantastic. They did some great research, and it was they who came up with the name Kinsei. Kinsei is the name of an apple that was developed in Japan. And Kinsei apples are available in Hawaii. So perfect. Now we've got the apple connection with Dad, Jack, and we've got the mom connection because it's a Japanese name to Misha, and we also have a connection to Hawaii. So have a really cool name. It's different, it's unique. Now with Kinsei's name, it's a little bit of a challenge because people look at it, it's Kinsei, and people aren't sure how to say it, and they all struggle. So I do suggest, especially if you have children, find something that's really easy to say, and it's great when it's easy to be able to pronounce and remember for all of your key partners in your relationship with your dog, your vet, your trainer, your groomer. If they can't remember how to say or spell your name, your dog's name rather, they're going to not remember your dog as well, and it always frustrates us a little bit when that happens. So best to choose a name that's easier to remember and spell. Raven obviously is easy. Ripple, Peanut, Spirit. All of these things are really easy names. One of my other dogs' name is Sahani. Her guardian sometimes forgets how to say it, but it is easy to say, and when you see it written out, it is easy to pronounce. A name with 2 syllables is awesome because then you could shorten it. So for instance, with Spirit, she has 2 syllables, and her nickname is Spee or Spee. So when we are talking to her, we'll go, "Oh, Spee, baby girl, what are you doing? Oh, Spee, come here, Spee." But if we want her to listen, Spirit is the boss of the house, and she's the one who tells us when anyone is coming on the property. So if we don't want her to bark anymore, then we can easily say, "Spirit, no, enough." And she understands right away, first of all, from your tone, and second of all, that you're using her full name, Spirit, that you are serious and you want her to pay attention. Whereas when you say, "Oh, Spee," you're just being loving, and it's not something that really matters that she pay attention to. Now, when you just saw me do that, you saw my body language and my face change. And that's not because I was planning on it, but that's just how we communicate. And that's how dogs communicate and understand what you're saying. So when I say Spirit, you see I have a little bit more of a tense body, my eyebrows are up a little bit, my eyes are more wide open, and my face is quite serious. Whereas when I say, "Oh, Spee," my eyes are smaller, they close, and my body moves in an S shape. And of course the tone changes. But even if the dog can't hear me, that body language tells them so much. Moving in an S shape like this, no direct eye contact, looking off to the side, a little bit of a Princess Diana look from up beneath your eyelashes, that tells a dog, friend, love, everything's okay. Whereas this tells them, oh, alert, be aware, something's up. So just some things to keep in mind. And when you have a name that you can do, or Spee or Spirit, it's really handy when you're trying to communicate with your dog. So now everybody looks like they're flaked out here. You can see that Kinsei's favorite position of being upside down is already being copied here. This is just adorable when she does this, and I think it's saying, oh, my tummy's so full. ALDs do like to be upside down, and we'll see more and more of the puppies doing this as time goes on. Now you'll also see there all the jerking that's going on while everybody's sleeping. This is a great way to really see it. And that is the puppies building their muscles, doing their exercises. I'm still horribly envious that they can exercise their bodies like that while they're sleeping, and people don't do that. I'm just going to move Pink over there so I can put my leg down, and I'll just get my app open on my phone so that I can tell you everybody's weights. And Pink, you're right here, which is very handy because you're first up, my little girl. So Pink Collar Girl is not the smallest puppy this week. I believe she was last week. And we're going to just adjust her collar a bit here. The collars do get checked every day. And let's see if she's going to share any open eyes with you. I'll just play with her face a little bit because her eyes are open. But she just says, I'm not going to show anybody. I'm not going to share. I'll just see if I can get her to do anything. No, she's just going to be sleepy. We can always come back and see if she happens to waken up enough. Oh, I'm just too tired. Miss Pink is 794 grams. So she's getting closer and closer to that 1 kilogram mark. And she just is like just too tired to show her open eyes. They're open a tiny, tiny bit, but you probably can't see them. It's a little harder too because of her black phantom markings. Next we have Red Collar, and Red Collar over here does not have open eyes. She says, no, I am not interested in seeing the world quite yet. Red is our pretty little chocolate phantom, and I think she is a phantom, but as I said, she might be a sable. Those eyes don't even show me that they really have much of a slit yet, so I would suggest that probably we're going to be looking at late Wednesday for these ones to be opening up. She just says, no, I want to keep a nice, dark, quiet world. So Miss Red is 830 grams. Then we have Yellow Collar, and oh my goodness, Mr. Yellow Collar. Well, he is now the biggest puppy in the litter. He is 1 kilogram and 32 grams. Oh my goodness, he's a little bit of a tank, this guy. Look at how big he is, especially if you put his sissy here, who's the same color. Look at them side by side. There's quite a difference in size there. Both nice, full, great body condition, really nice body tone, appropriate weight for the size. This one is yellow is peeing on me, which is nice. Thanks for peeing on me. And Mr. Yellow has his eyes open, and there, look at, you can actually see them. He's going to share and show his. Oh, that's good. You're much more forward, aren't you? Yes, you like to share everything. And puppy's eyes, when they open, are always blue. They will not stay blue. The ebony colored dogs will have very, very dark brown eyes, almost black. The chocolates will range from hazel to brown. So that is Mr. Yellow, the biggest puppy in the litter today. Then we have Blue Collar. And Blue Collar is the opposite. He's the smallest puppy in the litter. Mr. Blue, come here, Mr. Boo Boo, come here. He does not have his eyes open. He also is like Miss Red. He says, I'm not interested in seeing the world quite yet. Thank you very much. And Mr. Blue is 770 grams. He is a sable. You can tell for sure, like there's the difference between a chocolate and a sable. And looking at his eyes, I'll bet you they might be open towards the end of today, or they may open up tomorrow, but they're going to open up really soon. Isn't he handsome? I just love those white goatees. Yes, I do. A pretty puppy. Then we go to Burgundy Collar. And Burgundy Collar is also a chocolate sable. Burgundy is 918 grams. So we're doing this video in the morning. Normally we weigh the puppies in the afternoon. So I expect all of their weights will increase between now and when we would normally weigh them. So Burgundy is getting very close to being a kilogram. And look it, there's the eyes. Are you going to show your eyes? Yes, good puppy. Oh, look at those eyes. See, I talk like I'm talking to a puppy even though they can't hear me. It's just a habit. That's how we always talk. Look at those pretty eyes. And a Burgundy is, as I said, 918 grams. It won't surprise me. Well, I'm sure by tomorrow morning, Burgundy will be up to 1 kilogram. And then we have Mint. Mint is, no, that's silver. I always have to check the collars because they get their collars so dirty from Mom sitting on top of them. Here is Mint. Mint does have his eyes open. Hello, handsome. How are you doing? You going to show? Are you going to show? Come on, let's show your eyes. Are you? Can you see anything? No. He says, I don't want to tell anybody about my eyes. And Mint is also over a kilogram at 1 kilogram, 15 grams. Really nice. You can see these puppies are just so plump. They've got nice full tummies. Really nice to see. And that is part of the reason why they are all so quiet and basically still, because they have everything they need. And then last but not least is Silver Collar. Silver Collar Girl was the first puppy to open the eyes in the litter, and now probably she won't show them because she just says, I'm too tired. Come on, you show your eyes. No showing eyes. Next week when we do our update, they will probably all be much more likely to show you their pretty eyes. It's just they're all conked right out because they just had a nice feed at the milk bar. And Silver Collar Girl is 864 grams. So that is our update for this week. If you're on this litter list, you'll get another video this week. And in that video, we're going to be talking about choosing your vet, your trainer, and your groomer. And when we do Raven's update in 2 days, we will talk about that in that video. So I encourage everyone on this litter list to please follow along and watch Raven's litter updates as well, because we'll go back and forth with what information we are telling one another, and that way you get the advantage of hearing everything. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It'd be great if you have a moment and you can drop a comment. It really helps us out, and I'd love to chat with you. And if not, you know, a thumbs up would be great. And be sure you're subscribed and you've hit that bell icon so you get notified when our next video comes out. Raven's video update will be out on Friday. So if you're on this litter list, please take a moment over the weekend or whenever you have time to check that one out as well as this one. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next week, I hope.